Hello, and welcome to today's lesson. Again, I appreciate you being with me, and I appreciate all the information that you provide me in helping me know what it is that you'd like to learn more about. Today, we're going to be talking about the one concept that undergirds everything that we teach and everything that I hope that you're doing. And that is leadership. Now, this word and what it really means has more to do with how effective your practice runs than anything else that I could possibly share with you. And it's through leadership that all things happen. Now, leadership may not necessarily be consciously being done, but it certainly is being done within the practice in some way, shape, or form. Now, I'm not talking about the formal ideas of leadership as far as personalities are concerned. What type of leader are you, or whatever? The Jim Collins 5 areas of leadership, or Maxwell, or any of those individuals and all of the great work that they've done. I'm talking about what is it that truly leads your practice. Now, there are individuals obviously involved in that, and probably the greatest definition of leadership that I've ever heard, and I continue to teach, is one from Dr. Stephen Covey. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, but in essence, he said, leadership is the act of seeing and helping others see their worth and potential so powerfully that they come to see it in themselves. Think about that for a moment. If you have the responsibility of leadership with the practice, that means that we're seeing the worth and the potential of the practice as an entity with such great clarity, which is what we call vision, that we will work to help achieve that in the practice. The practice itself begins to take on the identity of that element of leadership. With individuals, with people in the practice, it truly is seeing their potential and their worth and helping them come to see that. When they come to see that, it opens up all new worlds of possibility. It begins to utilize the strengths and the talents of individuals in ways that we previously didn't ever do. It begins to tap into potential that we never even knew was there. More importantly, they never even knew was there. It really opens up doors. So, one of the first things that I would ask is that when you talk about staff members and when you think about your own staff members, do you see staff out of potential, or do we see them out of what we see every single day? Do we see them out of what they do? You see, it's this that allows us to continue to keep motivating, to keep driving, to keep training, to keep moving people forward, because we see in them something more than they see in themselves, and that is fantastic. When this runs out, when we no longer see that potential, that's when we have a problem. That's when you know it's time to maybe part ways. Because if we don't see them out of potential, we start looking for reality. And when we start seeing reality, it sometimes can be alarming. In a business, most businesses don't have the flexibility, don't have the opportunity to work through all of the human individual struggles that we each have. Some, yes, but not all of them. Like with our children. Our children we see with potential, right? That's how we look at our own kids, and we help them to grow and develop into at least portions of that potential. The problem is that when your children don't rise up to potential, you keep trying to find different ways to help them. And as a parent, that's your job. That's what you keep working to do, and that's what you do so well. With an employee, it takes resources, it takes time, and it takes money to help people to get to potential. So when you can see that they really want that, fabulous. You keep that train moving forward. When you can see that they don't want that in their life, they don't want to rise to potential, they just want to do what they need to do to get by, that's not going to be the end result of those individuals. So at that point where you see that that potential just doesn't exist to get where you need them to be, to fulfill the vision of this practice, to do everything that you know can be done, and it's time to part ways. It's time to go a different direction. So that's what I have for you today. Leadership is about seeing potential. How well do we see potential, not only in the practice, but in the individuals that work with us? Great question. I hope you ask it of yourself. Thank you for being with me. Remember, it's all about the patient experience.